amid accusations Russia attempted to influence and subvert the U.S. presidential elections. Europe is bracing for a similar threat. France, Germany, and the Netherlands go to the polls in 2017, and analysts say Russia is attempting to influence the outcomes. Moscow denies the accusations, while Henry Ridgwell reports from London.
German Chancellor Angela Merkel will stand for a fourth term in 2017 as the chief European architect of sanctions against Russia. Analysts say she is the European leader that Moscow would most like to see voted out of power. Merkel said this month that Germany must be ready to counter attempts to subvert the election.
Dazu müssen wir auch die Menschen sehr informieren.
We have to inform people and express our political convictions clearly. We also should not allow ourselves to be irritated. We just have to know that there's such a thing and learn to live with it.
This is Chancellor Merkel's Achilles heel. Close to 1 million migrants arrived in Germany in 2015. Analysts say Russia will likely try to whip up anti-immigrant feeling. In January this year, a fake news story about a Russian-German girl named Lisa who had reportedly been raped by migrants prompted protests in Germany and accusations of a cover-up from Moscow. The girl later admitted it was a lie. Russia will likely ramp up its efforts at disinformation ahead of the election, say analysts.
They can target it both in France and in Germany. But because Angela Merkel herself has been so closely identified with the policy of admitting refugees and asylum seekers to Germany, it is, I think, an area of vulnerability for her.
The far-right anti-immigrant Alternative for Germany party is rising in the polls. Monday's terror attack in Berlin could boost support.
Or if we have an unraveling of the refugee situation again with the EU-Turkey pact unraveling on refugees, that could also increase the pressure on Germany.
Across Europe, far-right parties have sought close relationships with Moscow. Marine Le Pen, leader of France's National Front, secured a $10 million loan from a Russian bank to fight her election campaign. Bond says the populist far-right parties share one goal, the breakup of the European Union.
And from a Russian point of view, if you can divide Europe, if you can then pick off individual states and make them feel more vulnerable or make them feel that they have to accommodate themselves to Russia, then that's a huge win.
And with Donald Trump taking over the US presidency in January, European unity will be tested from all sides.
Trump himself, like Putin, seems to share this preference for dealing with countries in Europe bilaterally rather than multilaterally. And so I think he is not going to shed many tears if in fact the EU is weakened as a result of Russian activity in European elections in the coming months.
While Trump has said US NATO allies should pay more for defence, he has not suggested he wants to see the European Union weakened. European leaders hope that by sounding the alarm early, any attempts by Moscow to influence upcoming elections can be extinguished. But analysts warn Russia's propaganda drive is already well underway.